Mythic Whispers.
The first person to ever make chocolate. Imagine living in a world where chocolate doesn't exist. No chocolate bars, no hot cocoa, no chocolate cake, no brownies, no chocolate ice cream. Now imagine being the very first person in human history to taste something that would eventually become one of the most beloved foods on Earth. Who was that person? And perhaps even more fascinating, how did they discover chocolate in the first place? The answer takes us deep into the mysterious rainforests of Central America, thousands of years ago, where a strange fruit hanging from trees would change human history forever. And trust me, this story is nothing like you think. Around 4,000 years ago, long before supermarkets, restaurants, or even written history in many parts of the world, ancient people living in what is now Mexico and Central America were surrounded by cacao trees. These trees produced colorful football-shaped pods. Inside each pod were dozens of seeds, surrounded by a sweet, white pulp. Today, we know these seeds as cacao beans. But here's the surprising part. If you've ever bitten directly into a raw cacao bean, you probably wouldn't think, wow, this is going to become chocolate. In fact, it tastes bitter, very bitter. So how did anyone figure out what to do with it? Most historians believe the first discovery happened completely by accident.
Picture a hunter or farmer collecting cacao pods for the sweet pulp inside. The pulp was delicious, fruity, and refreshing. After eating the pulp, the seeds were probably discarded. But then, something unexpected happened. Some of those discarded seeds began to ferment naturally. The tropical heat, moisture, and wild yeast in the air started a chemical process that transformed the beans. One day, someone noticed the fermented mixture. Maybe they smelled it. Maybe they tasted it. Maybe curiosity got the better of them. Whatever happened, it led to one of humanity's greatest food discoveries. The earliest people known to use cacao were likely the ancient Olmecs, a mysterious civilization that flourished around 1500 BC. The Olmecs left behind enormous stone heads weighing tons, but they also may have been the first people to unlock the secrets hidden inside cacao. What's fascinating is that they weren't making chocolate bars, not even close. The first chocolate was a drink. And honestly, if you ordered it at a cafe today, you'd probably send it back. It wasn't sweet, it wasn't creamy, it wasn't dessert. It was bitter, spicy, and sometimes mixed with chili peppers. Ancient people would ferment, roast, grind, and mix cacao into a liquid. The result was a dark beverage that looked nothing like modern hot chocolate. Yet they loved it. In fact, many believed it was sacred.
As centuries passed, knowledge of cacao spread to the Maya civilization. And this is where things get really interesting. The Maya didn't just drink chocolate, they practically worshipped it. Chocolate appeared in religious ceremonies, royal feasts, weddings, and important rituals. Kings drank it. Priests offered it to gods. Nobles showed off their status with elaborate chocolate beverages. Some ancient Maya vessels even contain inscriptions that literally identify them as chocolate drinking cups. Imagine owning a cup so valuable that people carved into it specifically to say, "This is for chocolate." That's how important it was. But the story gets even stranger. When the Aztecs rose to power centuries later, cacao became more than a drink. It became money. Yes, actual money. You could buy things with cacao beans. Need food? Pay with cacao. Need goods at the market? Pay with cacao. Some historical records suggest that a turkey could cost around 100 cacao beans. Imagine opening your wallet and finding chocolate instead of cash. For the Aztecs, cacao was so valuable that counterfeit beans became a real problem. People would hollow out cacao shells and fill them with dirt to trick others. In other words, fake chocolate money existed thousands of years before modern financial scams. Now think about that. A food so valuable that people used it as currency. That's not something you hear every day. But despite its importance, chocolate still hadn't become the sweet treat we know today. That transformation wouldn't happen until Europeans arrived in the Americas. When Spanish explorers encountered cacao in the 1500s, they were introduced to the bitter drink enjoyed by indigenous civilizations. At first, many Europeans weren't impressed. The taste was unfamiliar. Some thought it was strange. Others disliked it entirely. But then someone had an idea. What if they added sugar? Suddenly, everything changed. The bitterness softened. The flavor became richer. Chocolate became fashionable among European royalty almost overnight. Soon it spread through Spain, then France, England, and beyond. For centuries, however, chocolate remained a luxury. Only wealthy people could afford it. The average person might go their entire life without tasting chocolate even once. Then the Industrial Revolution arrived. New machines made production faster and cheaper. Inventors developed methods for creating solid chocolate instead of just drinks. Companies began experimenting. Recipes improved. Milk chocolate was introduced. And little by little, chocolate transformed from a sacred ceremonial drink into the sweet snack we know today. But through all these changes, one mystery remains. Who was the very first person to make chocolate?
We'll probably never know their name. History didn't record it. There are no statues honoring them, no paintings, no written biographies. Yet their discovery affected billions of people across thousands of years. Think about it. One curious individual, standing in a rainforest long ago, may have noticed something unusual happening to a pile of fermented cacao beans. Most people would have ignored it. Most people would have walked away. But someone didn't. Someone experimented. Someone tasted. Someone discovered. And because of that moment, entire civilizations embraced chocolate. Kings drank it. Warriors traded it. Merchants sold it. Inventors improved it. And today, millions of people enjoy it every single day. It's amazing how often history changes because of simple curiosity. Not because of armies, not because of kings, not because of grand plans, but because one person wondered, what happens if I try this? That question has shaped the world more times than we can count. And somewhere in the distant past, hidden beneath layers of forgotten history, one curious human asked that question about cacao. The result was chocolate. The rest is history. But now, here's something to think about. What foods, inventions, or discoveries do we use every day that started with a single curious person taking a chance? And what incredible discoveries are waiting to be found right now? If you enjoyed this journey into one of history's sweetest mysteries, make sure to subscribe to Mystic Whispers, like this video, and turn on notifications.
because the next unbelievable story from history is waiting just around the corner. And trust me, you won't want to miss it.